We are coming off a busy week at the Capitol as lawmakers gear up for big deadlines in the coming days, and we have a few updates on legislation we've been telling you about throughout the session. The Texas House passed a plan to help pay for the weatherization of power plants. House Bill 2000 would ask voters to allot $2 billion in loans and grants for power generation companies to winterize equipment and facilities that failed in February. The money would come from the state's rainy day fund set aside for one-time expenses.
This particular bill I had concerns about because this particular bill, it's basically a revolving line of credit with no end in sight.
We are working through the system and trying to identify what should be done in the way of mandating those type of things, understanding there's a cost associated with that.
The bill now heads to the Senate. If HB 2000 passes, it will go before voters in a November election to approve the funding. Senate lawmakers heard emotional testimony from families pushing for a law to require the use of a national database to solve missing and unidentified persons cases. John and Joseph's law was voted out of a Senate committee unanimously. It would require law enforcement, medical examiners, and justices of the peace to enter case details into NAMUS, or the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System. The information would include dental records, fingerprints, and clothing descriptions. The bill is named after two Houston men who were missing for years. Alice Almendarez told lawmakers that NAMUS helped her track down her missing father's body after more than a decade.
My dad's case was never taken seriously. It was reopened by NAMUS, entered into the NAMUS database. Our DNA was taken, and my father was linked to our DNA, and he was eventually identified 6 months later.
The bill is now headed to the Senate floor. This is an update to our Missing in Texas investigation, which discovered that 10 states have passed laws with similar requirements. To watch our coverage on this bill and the story behind it, head to missingintexas.com. A new statewide health equity office is also closer to becoming a reality for Texans. House members passed a bill that would reinstate the office that was stripped of its funding years ago. Houston Democrat Garnet Coleman filed the bill. He said the pandemic's unequal effect on various populations based on factors like race and socioeconomic status highlights why the office is needed. The bill now goes to a Senate committee for a vote. Thank you again for joining us for State of Texas. I'm Josh Hinkle. We'll be back next week to bring you an in-depth look at Texas politics. Have a great day.